Welcome into the picture, Alyssa Orange, Mike Irwin, Tara Talmadge. Thanks for joining us tonight. And guys, a lot to be excited about this upcoming week. This is a big deal. Fall camp starts tomorrow. I know the coaches are excited. We're excited. Here's what they had to say before the week starts.
I can tell you that we're excited about practice starting. I think the kids are excited. You know, we've been here a long time. There's a lot that goes into coaching, but you can feel the excitement of our team, our staff, everybody in our building, and we're really excited to go see a little bit more about our players.
It's time. We've done a lot of talking, and they put in a lot of work, but let's go put it into action and kind of see how we respond. See how well we can play together and communicate.
You know, right now there's really no contact with the walkthrough. There's really no high-speed collisions. We won't have that the first week, but that's going to be the biggest thing. Is being able to execute once there are some repercussions to what you're doing. You know, right now you can kind of run freely and know that nothing's going to happen to you. That changes.
Steve Spurrier always called this time of the year the talking season, but guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I am more pumped now to talk about fall camp than I ever have. This is going to be something because it is actual football that we get to look forward to.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much looking forward to that, and no one more so than the players. Yeah. And I know we all have things that we definitely want to see. Mike
has one thing in specific he really wants to see.
Yeah, I'm just hearing a lot about Felipe Franks. It's kind of, circulated around town. Some of the players have been talking, and they're apparently knocked out by what he can do. Now, I saw that, a couple of times, saw the replay of that Kentucky game last year where he got knocked out and hurt and had to sit out a long time after surgery. But 2 years ago, he was fabulous for Florida. I want to see if that's the guy we've got this year.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. And again, we're going to talk about the offense, break this down. First, the offense, secondly, the defense. But it starts with KENDAL BRILES, Tara, and I think that this is a guy that stepped in and really blown people away with what they've been able to do with no spring ball.
Yeah, he said something really interesting during the press conference recently. Without being able to hold any actual practices this summer, this team has had a lot of time to learn the playbook, and it's going to shock people right now. But KENDAL BRILES says that Arkansas already has 75% of the playbook installed right now. And I know that can trigger some memories of Chad Morris for a lot of fans, since Morris always said that the team pretty much only learned about 30% of the playbook, but BRILES is confident in the Hogs right now.
We probably got about 75% in. We're going to dial back just a little bit the first week, and then we'll be able to keep moving forward from that. So feel really good about what we've got in, and as we continue to go and assess the personnel and figure out what guys do well, that'll determine how much more that we decide to do.
Mike, it's like music to our ears. 75%. It's been such a long time since we've heard something like that.
We don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all new for us.
That's right. And remember the last 2 seasons when the coaches struggled to decide on a #1 quarterback. It looks like that's out too. Sam Pittman said a couple of weeks ago that Franks is going to have to earn the job. It's not going to be handed to him just because he's an experienced SEC quarterback. But KENDAL BRILES made it clear that we're not going to have to wait until game time to know who the #1 quarterback on this team is.
I think it's going to take a couple weeks to figure out exactly which guy that we feel like can lead us to victories. You got to get in the fire. You got to go in scrimmages, and obviously we're going to protect our quarterback. So hopefully Felipe will be what we think he is, and there's still going to be competition, but I'd say it's going to be his job to lose.
My goodness, when he said it's Frank's job to lose, I thought, are you kidding me? A coach that just cuts right to the chase? I'm not used to that. I'm used to coaches beating around the bush, and he just laid it right out there. So honestly, I don't think he would have said that if he didn't have some indication that Franks is performing really well. But we'll see tomorrow how this starts out.
You know what I really appreciated that he said as well in his press conference was when he was talking about Malik Hornsby, who is that new freshman quarterback, is that he struggled a little bit, and we've kind of set him up to fail because what they've done is introduce that 75%, all of the offense, knowing that we just want these guys to see the offense. Then we're going to dial it back down and really go over it in detail. But I love that strategy, and it almost blows my mind it wasn't a strategy that Chad Morris took.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just give them a small portion of it and then you get into a position where, oh my gosh, you might need to do something different, but no one knows it. I mean, it was a bad system to begin with.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, again, it's just the fact that he said that. That he said, because everybody wants to know about this new kid. Okay, he's been making a lot of mistakes. We did that on purpose.
Yeah.
We wanted him to make mistakes, and we put too much on him because that's the way he gets better. And I just love the plain talk that's coming out of this coaching staff, because we went through 2 years of, I don't know, it was the same
would you
thing
call
every
it?
day, but it just all sounded the same, and you never felt like you were getting a real answer to anything.
It was a lot of indecision, which had us kind of spinning our wheels and not really knowing what to believe and what to take seriously. Another thing that I really loved was, we didn't talk a lot about Rakeem, but the one thing that Briles said about Rakeem was the leadership, and not just the leadership with the younger running backs, was just the whole team, the leadership role that Rakeem Boyd has stepped into.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to the press conference that we had with him, and, you know, I think it was Monteric Brown who said, if you want to wear a mask or you want to play football, wear a mask. And he was like, oh, if you want to live, wear a mask. You know, that type of leadership that they probably have outside of the locker room is huge.
Yeah.
And he has a reputation, Kendall Briles, of, it's not just throw the football. I mean, he really has a reputation of developing running backs, getting his offense in a position where the running game works. So it's more of a complete package, I think.
I know personally the running game worked well where he came from, and I know that he was able to be successful there. And Rakeem Boyd came back after Kendall Briles was hired, and I think that was a big part of it, because he knew he was going to be a big part of this playbook.